We start the show with where the Lakers' night ended last night after a preseason loss to the Warriors. Here is what LeBron had to say about the team coming together.
It's going to take a minute for us to become the team that we know we capable of being. So it's all about just working the process, being patient with the process, understanding that we're going to have frustrating moments. We're going to have moments where we're quite right there. We may take a step backwards, but that's all part of. I think that nothing is worth having if it's not worth working for.
Jalen, you and I both have high expectations for this Lakers team. Should we temper some of those expectations because it's going to take a minute for them to get together?
Not at all. And like I've told you the last couple of years, while there have been some really good general managers across the NBA that have made incremental progress with rosters, Sean Marks adding a big three, and what Rob Pelinka has done with this Laker roster has basically ran laps around the rest of the NBA. And so whenever you get confused thinking about the Lakers' weaknesses, like, yes, they're going to have spacing issues sometimes with LeBron and Rondo and Westbrook. I get that. Yeah, AD is now going to have to play more minutes at 5. I know that's not something he really wants to do. But overall, when you get confused, just say, who's going to beat them 4 out of 7? LeBron James rebounding from losing in the first round last year. Anthony Davis, who wasn't able to perform in the playoffs last year. Carmelo Anthony is also on this team looking to get his first championship. So this Lakers team is stacked. And for me, like I said to you, they are the clear-cut favorites for me to win it this year.
See, I feel differently about the Western Conference this year than I did last year. For me, it is the Lakers, and there's a huge gap. You're trying to tell me Phoenix, Denver, Utah, Mavericks, Golden State, none of those teams can compete with this roster if they are healthy. I feel like this year it is the Lakers, huge gap, and then everybody else. Try to convince me otherwise, Mr. Rose.
I totally agree, but let me tell you also what has to happen. We need all NBA AD the entire season. Like, he's going to still need to give them around 70 games in the regular season, Jacoby, and then be healthy throughout the playoffs. Of course, LeBron James, the future Hall of Famer, is going to be in the GOAT conversation, but they still need Anthony Davis to be a dominant, game-changing difference maker, a la Giannis, the way he played with the Bucks in their quest to win the championship.
See, for me, I don't care about the 70 games. You can play 50 games in the regular season. It's the second part that you said, be healthy for the playoffs. That should be the only focus for this team with Anthony Davis's minutes. One of the reasons you get Westbrook is Westbrook can carry you through the regular season. They don't need to be the 1 seed. They don't need to be the 2 seed. They can be the 4 seed. If Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook are healthy throughout the playoffs, they run through the Western Conference. Absolutely do.
There's a reason why AD needs to play center. And I know Dwight Howard is going to give you rim runs and fouls and physical presence. And the same thing for DeAndre Jordan. I understand what they bring you. But when you talk about the Lakers and the rest of the Western Conference and it being a drop-off, that's what happens to the Lakers up front when you take Anthony Davis out of the game, sir. They're going to need him for more than like 50 games when they're going against stout competition in the Western Conference, when Rudy Gobert comes to town, when the Joker comes to town. They're going to need him out there to ball to protect seeding. Remember, they fell to the 8th spot last year. That gives you no room for error. This team, I believe, is going to offend. Hopefully, they have a top 3 record. That's what you hope this squad has. Once you start falling into the 4-5 game, that's where it starts to get a little tricky.
Well, I can't imagine this Lakers team, if healthy, falls to a 4-5 situation. I have very high expectations for them. I don't care what LeBron James says after the game. I don't care how long it's going to take them to gel. This team is the best team in the Western Conference, and I believe will prove it if they manage to stay healthy. And I love the addition of Russell Westbrook to the team that they had last season.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.